Okay, so doing a ranked draft Guilds of Ravnica right now. Okay, so first pick. So there's Lava Coil in the pack. That's always a nice removal spell. I'm gonna take Aurelia because, well, for obvious reasons. It's a 5-mana 4/5 flying mentor, Vigilance Trample with upside. It's basically just a bomb mythic, probably one of the best cards you could possibly open in the set. But if it wasn't, I'd probably take Lava Coil maybe after that Muse Strike, but this pack is pretty weak outside of these first two cards. So I probably want to be in Boros because of Aurelia. Best cards for Boros are Ornery Goblin and Bounty Agent. Flight of Equinox is too slow. I think Ornery Goblin was better than Bounty Agent because the activated ability on Agent very rarely comes up. And the text of Ornery Goblin that just allows it to destroy X1s mostly mitigates the downside of having Glowing Stuffness, and Vigilance isn't super important when you're just trying to attack. And this card, it attacks and blocks better, so I'm going to take it. This pack has Healer's Hawk, which is probably a slam dunk. Take card is a pretty replaceable combat trick. I'll get it later in the... I'll probably be able to wheel it. Command the Storm is nice, but I'm not really... most Boros decks aren't really in the market for a 5-drop, and Skyline Scout is a pretty replaceable 2-drop. You can see these 3 creatures. It's a pretty easy explanation to see why Ornery Goblin is pretty strong. Guard for Battle is nice, but it's pretty easy to wheel that, especially on MTG Arena drafts, though I'm not sure if they've changed the algorithm. Fresh Face Recruit is a really nice 2-drop. It works similar to Ornery Goblin, where it has like a kind of first strike, like where Ornery Goblin has Suedo first strike, like Fresh Face Recruit actually has first strike when it's attacking. So it's just another nice aggressive 2-drop. Works really well with Aurelia because it's 4-power first striker. This pack has a Maniacal Rage, which is a nice thing to drop on Healer's Hawk. There's nothing else that's really great. At this point, I'm basically locked into Boros, even though it's not super open. I think all of these cards are really good Boros cards, so might as well be playing it. And there's nothing else great in this pack, like Hired Poisoner, Electromancer. Is it? Guess could. There haven't been a lot of great spells going around. I think I'm going to take Maniacal Rage here. Candlelight Vigil is just a lot worse than it, especially if you want to attack. It costs 2 additional mana, increasing the chance you get blowout. And Maniacal Healer's Hawk into Rage is just ways you can run away with the game against decks you don't have removal. Then Loxodon Restore is really just... It's a Convoke creature. It wants you to not attack, so I'm going to take the card that wants you to attack. You can also use it to make your opponent's creatures unable to block in a pinch. So this pick is probably just Ornery Goblin again. I'm going to make the same decision over the Ornery Goblin over the Vigilance creature. Ornery Goblin is better than Skyline Scout. It wins a fight, and Skyline Scout is pretty mana intensive. Though I might not want another 2-drop. Ledev Guardian is not what you want to look for, but Rebel Belt Boar is interesting. It's a 4-mana 3/3, which isn't the best stats. It gets pumped by stuff like Aurelia, but it's really good with evasive creatures and first strikers. However, Ornery Goblin is one of your premium 2-drops, so I think I'm going to take that. Now the pick is probably Demotion, since it helps to really just keep up the aggressive. And in a lot of matchups, it's basically just a 1-mana better Luminous Bonds, especially against like decks like Dimir, who have a lot of 1/4s and stuff. Now, I don't think I want a 4th 2-drop, so I'm just going to take the 3-drop because I don't have a single 3-drop in my deck. Even though Recruit is better. I'm not playing Street Riot, so it just costs too much mana. Probably won't play Color the Culprit, but you never know. Same thing here. Not looking for a 3rd color at this point. Celestia Locket is not good. Okay, so Take Card is a combat trick that is I'm definitely in the market for a combat trick. I don't have any right now. Skyline Scout, it's okay, but I already have 3 2-drops and a 1-drop along with an aura, so I don't really need any more tier 2 plays. I don't have a combat trick, so I'm taking Take Card. I guess I'll take Pack Beast. Pack Beast is okay. You're definitely fine playing it. Here, I don't think I'll ever play Candlelight Vigil. I'm just gonna take Lock Center Restorer because I might have just a really bad pool. Now I'll take Skyline Scout because Ledev Guardian is a defensive creature, not really where you want to be. Candlelight Vigil. Okay, so this pack has Legion Guildmage and Inescapable Blaze as the main two cards. Command the Storm is just worse than Inescapable Blaze because it doesn't go face. Inescapable Blaze is a great way to finish off damage, but it costs a lot of mana. And Legion Guildmage is a really flexible creature. It can be it can be just a bear if you need it. It's another way to finish off high damage, like 6 mana you can do 3 damage, which is similar to Inescapable Blaze, except Legion Guildmage is actually relevant earlier in the game, and its tap ability is another way you can force through damage for cheaper, or stop an attacker. Or do both, actually. I'm taking the Guildmage, it's great. Okay, so now the pick is nothing. I'm not playing Tree Riot or Justice Strike. And since Justice Strike is really strong, I think the pick is Justice Strike. So Sky Knight Legionnaire is one of the premium commons that you really need for Boros. Especially since I only have one other 3-drop. I'm definitely taking Sky Knight Legionnaire. 10th District card is okay. It's nice it can give a creature a toughness to help it maybe attack. And Hunted Witnesses if you don't have a single 1-drop. But Sky Knight Legionnaire, hope to wield guard. It's better than Scout. Hammer Dropper. I am low on mentor creatures. I'm not taking Torch Courier, Velocity, Book Tower, Candlelight Vigil, Ledev Guardian. This card does not need an explanation as to why it's bad. It's a 6 mana 4/5 trample. Maximize Velocity is card disadvantage, and I don't need the haste. So it's between one of these 4-drops. Hammer Dropper is very likely to trade, and both of these cards, basically their job is to trade off in combat and leave something behind. Rebel-Built Boar leaves behind 2 damage usually, or maybe more if it helped to force through a bit, and Hammer Dropper leaves behind a +1/+1 counter. The thing is, though, Hammer Dropper has a higher ceiling, Rebel-Built Boar has a higher floor. I have a lot of ways of forcing through damage. Hammer Dropper and a Pack Beast is really nice. I have a lot of removal too. Justice Strike, Legion Guildmage, Demotion, and a Take Heart for a combat trick. That gives me actually a lot of ways of dealing enough, actually pumping through the damage, along with the first striker. I think Hammer Dropper is right. So now the pick is between Boros Guildgate and Garrison Sergeant. I'm really not in the market for a 5 mana 3/3. And since I don't actually have any gates, I think I'll take the first gate. So now it's Intrusive Pack Beast or Sworn Companions. I'm gonna go with the Sworn Companions, as again, that's only my 3rd 3-drop, and I already have a Pack Beast. You very rarely want more than 1 Pack Beast in your deck. Now, wow, Goblin Cratermaker and Demotion. Fresh Face Recruit is not as good as Cratermaker, because Cratermaker can just be a removal spell. And it's not really relevant, but it can just randomly kill something like a Chamber Sentry. If you ever need to, you won't. Since I already have a Demotion, and these cards are, this is always risky, especially like in the mirror when it doesn't, there's a risk of Demotion not having any text in the mirror when you're being beat down on. So I'm gonna take Cratermaker, because it's a removal spell and a threat. Well, now I'll take Rebel-Built Boar, because there's nothing in the pack. Now I can take Command the Storm. Torch Courier, really not a good card. So 1 mana 1/1 haste that could give another creature haste. It's not really what you were looking for. Command the Storm I probably won't play, but you never know. Street Riot. It's red. Okay, yeah, I did wheel the 10th District card, which is nice. I'm going to take it and play it over Skyline Scout. Which of these bad red cards am I gonna take? Ledev Guardian. It's theoretically a 3-drop. If the 3rd pack gets me a whole ton of Vigilance creatures, I could play it. Now I'll take this. Says none of these picks are really relevant. Just because you're not hate drafting anything. So this pack, Erratic Cyclops, I have nowhere near enough spells for. Already have a Boar, so that's basically Take Heart or Parhelion Patrol. Parhelion Patrol, I think it's enough. I already have 3 4-drops. It would probably be my last 4. And take card is almost never bad in a Boros deck. I think it's easier to get another take card than it would be to get another Parhelion Patrol, and I'm really light on mentor creatures, which is kind of odd. I've taken every single one I've seen. So, I'm gonna go with the Patrol. Okay, so, True Fire Captain. It's probably just the best card in the pack. It's better than Patrol and Hammer Dropper. It's better than Hammer Dropper because it has the extra toughness and the ability that it's always hitting your opponent. Even if they do block it, it's always going to get through for damage. Take card, again, the second take card means, like, there's going to be probably Righteous Blow or take cards going to wheel in this pack, which means I'll get a nice combat trick. But yeah, I'm definitely taking True Fire Captain. We'll sort through what to cut later. So, another Healer's Hawk or a Blade Instructor. How many 3? I do not have anywhere near enough 3-drops. I'm really choked on 3-drops, and Blade Instructor is a pretty good one. Healer's Hawk is Healer's Hawk, and it does run away with games, though. Healer's Hawk is better, however, if you do have a lot of ways to pump it, and outside of Maniacal Rage, I don't have a really good way to pump it until turn 4. Because of that, I'm going to take the Blade Instructor. Now... I could splash for that. Nah, I'll take a... I could take Camaraderie. If I see a Selesnya Guildgate... Nah, not with True Fire Captain. I'm not in the market for a splash. Just another 2-drop, maybe? It's a Vigilant... Oh, okay, so Fresh Face Recruit is a second one. Just gives you another first striker. It's good with Blade Instructor. I'm gonna take it. None of these cards are particularly playable. I'll take the Locksmith, I guess. Not playing that. Not playing that. Patrol, I guess. Yeah, this is the part of the draft where I'm not really getting anything. Okay, so I'm wrong here. There's a Mythic still in the pack. There's this 6-drop that is very good if you untap with it, especially with Ornery Goblin, but it's slow. There's Inspiring Unicorn, which is again really good but really slow. Like the top of my deck, the top of my curve is really clogged. I mean, I have a ton of playables right now. Like Boros was really open here, as is evidenced. I'm not taking a Skyline Scout. I have way too many good 2-drops. Do I need any more 3s? I only have 4 3-drops. I don't want... Sworn Companion is not a very good one, especially since I don't really have a mass pump effect. Swathcutter Giant does some good things. It's that or the Unicorn. I don't want a second Boros Guildgate because a double Guildgate draw probably means I'm not curving out, and I'll probably... That's bad. Unicorn is more susceptible to removal, and I don't think it's better than any of the 4-drops I currently have. Swathcutter Giant does definitely have the ability to do some really good stuff. It's also a big, beefy creature. I'm not sure if I want to go late game, though. This could be a 16-land deck, in which I probably wouldn't run any of these cards. But my late game is actually good enough. I might want to be like a slightly slower version of Boros, since I have a lot of, like cards like Legion Guildmage to burst through damage, and I don't have a lot of the cards. I didn't see a single Cosmotronic Wave, and I only saw one Sky Knight Legionnaire. It's possible that... How many Sky Knights Skyline Scouts do I already have? 1. I don't think I'd play a second. I think I'm going to take Swathcutter Giant here. Though, any of those cards could have been right. Okay, now I'm going to take Heart, because I needed that for a combat trick. So now it's Righteous Blow or Take Heart. I definitely don't need Hammer Dropper. Since I already have 2 Take Hearts, I think the pick is Righteous Blow, because it's better if you don't have... Because it can be used if you don't have a creature. It can't be used to burst through damage, but... Yeah, it's better if you don't, when you don't have a blocker up. So I'm gonna take the blow now. Vigil. It's too late. Too late. Too late in pack 3 for a splash. Okay. So now I get to build my deck. If this was a 17 land deck, it would be 4 cards over. This is way too many. This is a lot of 2-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 2-mana creatures. Jeez. Yeah, this is a 16 land deck. Do I lead white, or red? I definitely lead white. I need to cut one more card. Probably one of the 4s. 5 4s is a lot. Parhelion Patrol is the slowest, but it has evasion. Yeah, it's the slowest. I might cut a 10th district card for a Skyline Scout, giving me another way. Skyline Scout goes over the top. Skyline Scout gives me a way to punch through damage. Yeah. I like this. I like the look of this deck. Got a lot of nice removal, a ton of great 2-drops, a Bomb Mythic, True Fire Captain. This is a lot of the important parts. The only really thing I wish I had was either what was a cosmic was an I really like another Sky Knight Legionnaire, another good 3-drop. I really didn't pick up many of those, which is annoying, but what can you do?